3, 2, 1. Devil May Cry. 2, 1.
All right, everybody. It's about time we got into the second match of the day, and it's going to be a good one. High is going up against Based Jonesy on the sticks. We're going to be swapping over to Royal Guard and getting our asses into Dante's office here in just a second. Fellas, how we feeling about this one?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's definitely going to be, I think, an uphill climb for Jonesy, but I am excited to see if he can just play up to his potential and not, enter the race sort of with a defeatist attitude. I really just want to see him get a nice PB, to be honest. That's what I want to see out of him. I'm seeing a 23 on his end. I really want to see him crack those, like, 21s during this run.
I think Jonesy's in a really good position to do that, too, because not only did he have a match against Loner, who's one of the only 3 people to get an 18 in the tournament, but he's also been commentating and watching for most of the event, so he's been able to download a lot of the strats, and we'll see if he can put some of them into the run.
Yeah, the execution, though, is going to be a pretty big factor. What are you thinking, Cosmic?
I mean, it's one of those things where, you want to be hopeful for the other guy, obviously, but Heis has just been on an absolute tear lately. Not even just in the tournament, but in full game runs as well. He's just been cooking up a ton of science on the game, timing, like, everything that, like, what saves time, what doesn't by, down to the seconds. He's really done a lot of research in the game. He really knows his stuff. I'm sure he's been practicing a ton. And I really think that we could see him go very far. And he's definitely, I think, one of my 3 favorites to take the tournament.
Oh, and a rough start to this race for Jonesy, missing a couple of crucial gold releases that Hies has not whiffed on yet right now. And it's really unfortunate as well, because you have to put yourself in situations where you're at the behest of enemy AI to recover you if you miss your gold releases.
Like that, dude.
Like Jonesy's done a couple of times right now. And, this is sort of similar to what we saw running on yesterday. At the start of the beginning of the tournament, we saw Jonesy have a little bit of a buffer period where as soon as he was on, he needed to recover, collect himself, and just get into a rhythm to stop missing releases. And it's going to come and flow, ebb and flow in that situation, but this is what we need. We need someone's average to be so good that they get consistent gold releases, even if they're not super worn.
That is true. Yeah, it's one of those things where this is why I tell people not to put too much stock in people's PBs in terms of like how they'll perform in a tournament, because, like you said, you gotta. This is not a PB attempt where you're coming in after maybe 2 or 3 hours of streaming and then you finally get that run you want. It's you gotta come in cold or hot, and you're, the run that you just put up on a whim has to be very, very up to par.
And right now we're in the strip club following Hies. He's choosing to spend the cash to kill the sloths early. I do like that decision instead of just going for straight shotgun cancels.
Jonesy, unfortunately, not getting a stinger level 2 here.
Did he get an A rank on M1?
I think he might have, yeah.
Oh, brother, that's unfortunate if you're him. That's going to cost him just a little bit of time and movement alone.
There we go.
Hies right now keeping himself limber inside the strip club. Very important.
Unfortunate. Almost made it to the door there.
Trying to steer that ship when you're not even able to get eyes on the road is a talent. Well, it's not even a talent. It's an art, not a science.
Yeah, that movement just seems really finicky, honestly.
Well, speaking of finicky,
here come the dog.
We're heading up to the gatekeeper, the boss of this dojo.
This is where you gotta believe, or you gotta begin to believe.
Well, this is where you gotta pray, I'm thinking.
That's also true, but you gotta believe and pray at the same time.
A couple of missed gold blocks here out of Hies. Not the end of the world, but in theory, that meter could have been spent on a bigger double head hit there. Because right now, you're going to refill on meter regardless when he comes on the slam down, right? I do appreciate the lack of a roll cancel.
Ooh, my goodness. And then
there it is. There it is. Hies there with a beautiful Cerberus. good meter management overall, good movement, and he's setting himself up for a great run right now. He's off to a good start, and I think overall some of the worst that the run can offer is straight behind him.
Man.
Meanwhile, though, this is the battle that Jonesy has to beat right now. How will the Poochers behave?
I always wondered what breed of dog Cerberus was, to be honest with you.
Well, I feel like it doesn't correspond to the different head, like what they're based on.
It might, yeah. Maybe
I
the
feel like
the really
one of
skinny
them
head's like
hit.
a beagle, right?
All right, so I don't. All right, so that's a tough decision if you're Jonesy, right? So no heads have been beaten down right now, but even still, the meter was spent at a really inopportune time there. Meter management for the Cerberus fight is tough, but you can always guarantee a full bar of Royal Gauge off of his stage transition.
Okay, makes sense. And then here we go. It looks like he's just gonna wrap it up there, though. Not too bad, but definitely definitely not what you want to see out of that dog.
It could have been a lot worse, though.
Yeah, that is true.
For
yeah,
sure.
It definitely could.
Well, and you know what? Setting our bar appropriately, the guy is still on PB pace. There's a lot of run left to go, but he definitely is at a good space right now. We just need to make sure that his crowd control is getting him where he needs to be. His resource management as well, how he is getting and spending Royal Gauge. It's going to be critical here. Because realistically, hies is running away with this right now, I'm feeling.
That's what I'm feeling too. Yeah, I mean there's even moments where it feels like he's not getting what he wants to happen, but he's still salvaging it just fine. And I'm not seeing like a ton of like panic coming out of him at all. So I mean that Cerberus was probably one of the cleanest Cerberuses we've seen all tournament.
Yeah, getting that finish there was a beautiful thing to see.
And again, commentator's curse on that wrath.
But you know, even though, like you said, like that's a situation where I think that is just straight L, right? Like there is no benefit to it. You take time loss getting up. It messes with your positioning. But even then, it's at a point to where realistically, hies can probably take a deeper breath here and just sort of recuperate and be like, all right, this is me setting myself up for the rest of this tournament. Like how I feel about my decisions right now is going to set my mental for every decision that I make going forward. Like, how am I going to respond when Gigapete flips me off in 2 seconds? Just like, he's seeing into the future.
Who is this man? It's them poker table, dude. It's that poker table mentality just never left. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of reflex too.
Ooh,
again, photosensitivity
that was
warning.
Beautiful.
Really
the
strong.
To use the revolver.
Wow.
Can we talk about how that revolver was perfectly timed to carry him over the gap that Gigapede would have left him on? That was good.
I wonder if that was just spur of the moment, like he just thought of it then, or he was like, "Nah, I got this. This is what I've practiced." I wonder if that's consistent. I really wonder.
That's possible. In either case, though, we got Blood Goyles on deck for hies, and the Chamber of Sins needs to be conquered for Jonesy. And realistically, again, you know, you got to think, right? If you're a little unsure about your wrath timings, it's probably better to not just mash through and guess. Got to be honest with you.
All right. Oop. Unfortunate. Jonesy kind of living on the edge here. Needs to get some grain orb drops.
Jonesy's
really
health
scary
is
for him.
Very scary.
And
he does
finally
there it is.
the reverse hex. There we go.
Oh, the blessing.
Oh.
At the very least, we're seeing some good shotgun cancels and some good rhythm out of that for Jonesy as well. Some switch canceling going through, dealing a lot of damage to Jester 1 on the shoes of hies. And we're seeing a repeat of hies' stream represented here in Jonesy, needing to recover and catch his bus. He's running up to the bug.
Gets a little bit of the cash. All right.
Ooh.
Let's see if he can make the most of it. He's going to get a couple of deflects, not a whole lot. So he's working with maybe like 35% HP here, but it looks like he is going to get it. Nope, never mind.
Oh,
This is really close.
oh, he misses a great opportunity.
That's unfortunate.
What do you even do in that situation? Do you just reverse a revolver in the direction and hope they both hit?
See, I don't know. That's probably what you would do. I feel like
That has to be it.
I don't know. I really like combo A there over revolver on Gigapede, like combo A with Cerberus there. It's just yeah. Oh, you mean like when you fall off? What do you do?
Yeah, you're falling off and you see those 2 orbs just sort of floating toward you. Because realistically, you need the range to be able to deflect them.
That's true. Yeah.
Combo A is not going to get you that. I don't know. It's a tough spot to be in.
It's definitely tough. I mean, I probably would just try to get back on Gigapede and then just use use combo A there. I feel like that might be the clutch. Try and not chase the orbs too hard.
Ooh. This big ass blood goyle just completely obscuring Jonesy's vision.
Never had a problem with a Devil May Cry camera. Nope, never.
It doesn't happen. That's why we have the COD 4 Pro Mod FOV.
We got that GTA Definitive Edition FOV.
Oh god, I hope not. The infinite draw distance.
Woo-wee.
Just occurred to me that hies has his melee attack button is square.
That is correct, yeah. I believe it's because when you do jump cancels with Ebony and Ivory, or I'm sorry, not Ebony and Ivory. When you do jump cancels with A&R with this setup, you can really just mash square and X at the same time and just get pretty free jump cancels. And it also, for a lot of people, it's easier to go from circle to triangle for the shotgun cancels.
I see, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I personally prefer doing circle to square for shotgun cancels just because it tends to time itself, you know, as opposed to just having the buttons next to each other. And for like Beowulf jump cancels, it also kind of times itself if you do X and triangle for the jump cancels there. So I feel like it comes down mostly to preference, but I definitely understand why certain decisions are made in terms of control layout.
Ooh, we're taking a couple of bad hits here in hies' position, although he is not out of position for the loops. Rudra goes down. He's taking Buck to the 20. And right now it's Rudra's turn to get his wig split. So far, a decent recovery after a couple of stray hits on hies' end. Some switch cancels to get the health back in line. Good adaptation overall.
And the brothers go down.
Yes, they do. Pretty cleanly, I would say.
He thought he had Rebellion equipped there. Dang.
Well, at least we get a couple of nice freeze frames of Revolver, right?
That's true.
It's looking like hies has a chance to PB in this run, so he is putting on some consistent performances here.
He is, and that's what's going to be taken to get you through this round, right? Because once again, I don't mean to call this before it's over, but if you're in hies' position, you need to be thinking about how you match up against the rest of the competition. What's going to happen if I go up against Dizzy Splits or Simoteus later on in the bracket? Can I get there?
Yeah,
and what do you need to get there? Like, do you need an improbable amount of mistakes or bad RNG to hit your partner? Like, it's those kind of things where we can start to chip away at the insecurity in your position in the overall tournament. Because everybody wants to take a little bit of that prize money.
Absolutely, yeah. This is something that I touch on a little bit with, you know, like speedrun tournaments in general, is that compared to fighting game tournaments, you know, you are, in fighting games, you are going to some extent, capitalize on somebody sort of, you know, playing a mind game level behind you. You know, it's like they're not playing bad, they're just making a mistake that you capitalize on.
Yeah.
But in a speedrun tournament, you cannot bank on the other person making mistakes because you can't affect it. You know, you just have to, at some point, you have to just play better.
Yeah. Better than yourself.
Better than yourself,
you know,
that's true, yeah.
I think that's a very important thing to note. Because, you know, like you had said, Cosmic, the opponent is outside of your control. Absolutely. By all measures, unless the hexes are real. And Frenchie really did put a hex on Mysterion that one time. We'll have to see. Need to raid his house and check the totems.
Primitive.
We got an A&R on deck for Based Jonesy. Oh, and that was kind of a messy start, but he is put himself in a good position for the loops. He takes a bad hit.
There we go. This looks like it's
Good
going to be
recovery.
a good one.
And this is something that we've seen a couple of runners struggle with. If Rudra or Agni is not playing along while you're beating the hell out of the brother and they're just not getting engaged, how do you swap to the target and get them back in? Seeing them run away right now, this is not optimal.
Ooh, a gold release.
Oh, and
there
he's put
too.
himself in a bad
Unfortunate.
spot. The gold release not helping him. He
Do
needs
not
to
like
get
this
between
camera
them.
angle. There we go. Okay, he might have a setup again.
Seems like he does, but can he keep it? This is one of the only instances where we don't need where we need a different kind of good timing for the royal releases. What on earth is hies doing? Did he just... Okay, this is a flex. What are you doing, buddy?
What?
What are
did
you
he
do?
What did he
Oh
do?
my god.
didn't
So
see.
he cross-swordsed one greed, jumped canceled off of him, back to the homie, killed a completely other dude, and then stingered into the guy he started like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, that's how he always does that room.
He needs some milk. What?
I think it's because it gives him more time to jump cancel the guy that's spawning in. It's just like, I guess it's just a better setup for him or something. Yeah. The man's got the science, dude.
It sounds like he's got the juice.
He's
the sauce.
He has tapped into the Excel database. He's got the spreadsheets updated.
Ooh. Very good block on the spikes there for Jonesy to prevent him from taking that fall back. Now he just needs to skate his way out of here. Full Sonic Riders on deck. He has the peripheral.
The lights are down for hies. Couple of whiff stingers here, unfortunately.
But, you know, even then, you know, Stinger may be a tough move to whiff on because you're like, man, I'm out of position now. The enemies have more time to respond and move around. But realistically, as a gap closer, it recovers pretty quickly.
That's true, yeah. That's hella true.
Oh, ooh, good recovery there on the JCs. This is an important thing that you have to keep in mind while the lusts are moving around and trying to slash at Dante. How can you respond while trying to kill a greed? Good adaptation, and just like that, hies has made off with the loot.
Jonesy heading into mission 7 as well here, as hies is looking to close this one out with the last couple of fights.
Gonna say almost a full mission's difference here between these two runners, at least in terms of raw content and fights.
Does seem like Jonesy still has a chance of PBing in this run, so we're gonna root for him to pull through here.
Yo, certainly. I'm making full eye contact with how he does this. Okay, that's one way to do it. Oh, but alright, never mind. I forgot what the Stinger version of Stinger move for A&R is, but when I saw that, it told me all I needed to know. This guy's not the TAS. See how he handles Virgil. I want to see if the strats are any different. I'm assuming he's going to go for, like, the face blocking A&R loops.
I assume
The
so,
loops,
yeah.
brother.
The loops.
Unless he's waiting for this late in the bracket to debut some shit we've never seen or heard of.
Save that shit for
Ooh.
nationals.
Okay. Okay, a little bit uncomfortable there at the start, but he does get back into the rhythm of some good blocks. Let's see how he spends the Royal Guard cash.
A little bit of mash in there, unfortunately.
I was going to say, was
It's
that a
gonna cost him.
parried release?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
A little bit of nerfs
Was-
here at the end.
Oh,
Oh, that was a bit of a
damage.
mess situation. He jumped on top of the statue by accident. That messed the movement.
Oh, and then another parry
he needs to
release there
finish
by
that.
Virgil. Not the cleanest Virgil out of hies.
word.
That is, if I'm, you know, so he does close it out here with a 1940 or 1912. I'm sorry, but if I'm if I'm the other people that he might be going up against, I'm looking at that Virgil fight and I'm going,
That's
interesting.
Opportunity to save time, that is.
Indeed, yes. He did not believe. He was too busy staring at the woman in the red dress.
Morpheus, I need to learn Virgil 1.
All right, and here we
Into
go.
the Crystal Skull room for Jonesy. Once again, it's him versus himself. Can he get the personal best?
Uh-oh.
We're seeing the weapon swap cancels here. I've been told through my sources that this is a little bit slower than perfect cross swords. But once again, that's the decision that you have to make, right? Do you want to go for what is in theory perfect, or what is consistent and just a little bit slower?
Consistency. I love consistency, man, in this game, because this game is friggin' hard.
That is very true.
This run is just so demanding. It's probably why I'm still bad at it.
I would be pissed at it too, quite frankly. Greed's going down as well. Although it looks like a couple have spawned, unless I am mistaken.
I think maybe one.
I think that was a natural spawn, maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe he just left them all and just waited to clean them up after the greeds.
All right, so not a bad Crystal Skull room for Jonesy by any means.
No, not at all.
Now the action is on him to go handle that Vanguard. His greed management overall is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
good.
He has good enough A&R loops to keep him on top of target without needing a bunch of recorrection.
And, you know, looking at his splits, right, you know, it's, while he wasn't, you know, up to the task this time around, these are very consistent splits, you know, all things considered. So, when he does get to the next level, you know, he is still going to be pretty consistent. So, just got to hit those books, practice up, you know, get that muscle memory going, and you know, he'll be set to go to get some nice times.
Well, and I'm interested to see how he handles the Virgil fight, right? Because if memory serves, he was shotgun canceling Virgil?
I think it was shotgun and maybe rebellion. Like the old strat for Virgil was,
yeah, I think it was the old strat for him.
Yeah, it was the 13 hits of rebellion, followed by some shotgun cancels. He is going to grab the Vital Star. I do like it.
Yep. It's looking like it's going to be the item route here. I wonder if this locks him out of PB pace. He needs to get this Virgil fight quickly and first try.
That is true.
It could still be his PB for the tournament, because I think his PB is a 23-34 that he got in the first match.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens here.
If this is the best he's performed, then that would be fantastic for him.
Absolutely.
Going up against the brother. Oh my God, what happened to your hairline?
Why do you use all this hair gel?
How is it on command like that? I don't understand how he does it.
Ooh, Virgil's hair?
Do you think he's like... Yeah, he's like pouring a current of demonic energy through it.
He like just uses the demonic energy to swoop it back once, and then he just threatens his hair to stay in place, basically.
This is why he doesn't have the power to go on the stripper pole.
That's true.
Because like the rest of that, or air hike for that matter, the rest of that demon power is going straight into the follicles.
Apparently, he also has a slightly lower jump height in this game. GG.
GG.
23-21 on the end of